I know a lot of people haven't even went over like a topic like this of unique weapons in Warframe. I just want to give you guys the rundown of a couple that are actually good or bad. It doesn't really depend on damage or stats wise, it just depends on their functionality. I'm gonna go ahead and put any kind of nunchucks on there because the way that they attack, it stretches out, and you wouldn't really think that such a short weapon like this would stretch out, but as you can see, the range is pretty high on this. It's a lot better than some weapons in general. And I know that most people are gonna say, oh, what about whip weapons and sword whips? I'm not putting those on the list for uniqueness because they're meant to have that range capability, but nunchucks are more of a thing that you wouldn't realize does. Let's see, the Angstrom would be a good one, mainly because it shoots explosive projectiles. But that's not the one I wanted to. Here it is. I know. This is the worst weapon possible, probably, right now. But the point is that it literally just shoots off a ball of whatever color. You can make this a bubblegum, change it to anything else, as most people end up doing. Or you just could call it a snowball gun because it literally does no damage. But then again, gumball gun would be a lot better, just due to the simple fact of it slowing down the target. So yeah, that's something to keep in mind. Any type of kunai, or however you want to pronounce it, like this, to where they have a extra added proc on there. It's where it's like this one has toxin, while the I'm not sure how you pronounce this one. This one has electricity. There's a big difference here. Alright, so when you're building a weapon like this, you always either want to have that perk stay the same. Yes, I know I just said perk, but I meant to say proc. Or you are going to want to fuse it in with something else in order to make this a little bit stronger. But if you're looking for just this one proc, I'd suggest keeping it the same and just amplifying the electricity status for it, like for this being a status weapon, sort of. I mean, I know that it's pretty low right now, but still, the pox, it's like at 35, which is really good for you know, any type of status weapon. But the only issue with this is that it's toxin. I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but it is like still pretty bad unless you're trying to make a corrosive build, I believe. I'm not really too sure. I can't remember what corrosive is. Corrosive, yeah, it is toxin and electricity. I was just checking. Yeah, but corrosive build is not any good anymore currently, so I would stick with viral. I just haven't even changed my Stropha build in a while, so anyways, back on topic. Primaries. The Shadoo. It's the only one in the game that is a arm cannon, and it has rechargeable ammunition. And I'm not talking about like what are they called? Craftable personalization weapons. I can't ever think of what they're called. They're the offspring of Zarls, so like, yeah, I just couldn't figure out what they were called, so my fault. Anyways, the Shadoo has rechargeable ammo, so you wouldn't ever need to put any sort of ammo things on there. Maybe like the magazine capacity, but that's not really big because you can instantly just recharge it, so there's no need for that. Unlike the Kuva Brahma. But it's a really good weapon for semi-crowd control and just all out to be a status weapon dash damage dealer. Yes, but also the buzz lock is a big one. It's pretty bad stats. I did have this, but I did get rid of it because I just don't like the way it, like the stat wise. But anyways, the whole unique part about this is that you can shoot a projectile at your target, and then afterwards is basically literal aimbot. You ain't got to do anything else because it literally automatically shoots them for you. All you gotta do is hold down the trigger and it'll go to that one target as long as you're aiming near them, or you know, as long as you ain't got your back turned to that target, it'll still hit and there ain't nothing in that path. Alright, so I don't know what you would call these, spears, I guess. They can be thrown down. So this is like one of the only melee weapons. Like these are the only melee weapons because I got the scourge as well. These are the only melee weapons that can be primary weapons that can be thrown, as far as I'm concerned for now. The Javelock is one as well, yes. I think this is a sentient, yeah, okay. Whenever you reload with this, I believe, I think this is the one that pulls in targets or does damage around you. I'm not sure which one it was, but yeah, that's still something I have to figure out. The emitter is the one of the few on here that actually are qualified as unique. Only reason I'm putting it on there is because it's a literal chainsaw, and so is the Panthera. Here it is. This one, on the other hand, you can have the chainsaw extend outwards. This is the only reason I'm putting it on this list, as well as the emitter. As you can see, they're both the same thing, except the Panthera is the upgraded version. Yeah, but that's I know I haven't covered everything, like explosive weapons like this, because this is like one of the very few ones that have a sort of shotgun blast that isn't really a damage dealing thing, because the thing for that is very bad, very bad. But other than that, explosive wise, it's okay, I guess. It's not as good as some of the other explosives on here. One of the other ones I wanted to go into was the Mutilus Cernos. Shooting a target will cause a cloud of smoke around them, so you literally just can shoot it at one person and it'll affect a area of people. But since the damage for this thing is like very bad and poor, I would not suggest getting it. Not unless you can make a very good build out of quick shotting, because that's the shotting multiple times just to get that proc on there for the gas cloud. But yeah, I'm not sure if I missed anything for now. Oh, well, I wouldn't consider this as unique. I just consider it looks worthy of unique, considering that since if you have an ice proc on this, like cold, for instance, it does still, you know, have this. But what happens if you put like a fire proc on it? Would that would probably look weird, like 100%. Like if you could end up fusing this with like and turning it into magnetic and then putting just a regular old heat proc on there, that would be kind of weird. Because then it'd just be a flaming, like, wow, that just, ooh. Anyways, let's see, the static core is a good one. You literally kamehameha on people. Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's slightly a bit broken still, but, you know, it still is really good in my opinion. The Atmos, I've never used it, but I think it's similar to the static core and the sonic core. Sonic core is it's the only one that shoots off 3 energy things at once, and it does high damage, but it's got a very low fire rate. And to be honest, this oh, I can't tell you how much this looks like something out of Tron. It just, like, all Corpus stuff looks like something out of Tron most of the time. I do not know what else it was. Let me check real quick. Okay, so, I mean, I guess you could put gun blades on here, because they're the only ones that are melee and don't need ammo at all, I guess. Like, you could literally go into a match and just be able to spam this thing as long as you've got a really good build on it. For instance, any sacrificial mods would be really good for this thing. The Brahma is another good example of unique weapons, and any Kuva weapon would be quote-unquote unique for having that proc for whatever you got it on. The reason I'm putting the Brahma on here is because it's one of the only bows in the entire game that's got explosive ammo. I mean, don't get me wrong, for the Dread you can obviously put on explosive ammo technically with the 50% chance of Thunderbolt, that's what it was. Here it is. Oh, it's 30% chance, my fault. To explode, use with caution. This thing turns any bow basically into a explosive bow, but you have to be careful about it, because if you're in a spy mission, sometimes it will try and get multiple targets, and if that happens, you will be screwed. So I would not use this for a stealth bow if that's what you're going on. I would just put on normal mods. I would say normal because this is not a normal mod you would come across for any sort of bow user, unless you really want that high damage on there. But other than that, that's basically it. Let me just go ahead and slap that back on there. Alright, well, that's almost everything. I think, I'm not really too sure. I can't remember if there was anything else I had added on there. But, that should be most unique qualified weapons. And I know I'm going on a lot about a lot of them. And I'm not putting Goss's guns on here because they are qualified as technically still assault rifles at close range. And yes, I know that they explode at long range, but to be honest, it's still an assault rifle. I wouldn't put this as an explosive weapon just because, mainly because the magazine capacity on this, it's like very high compared to the we'll put it in the Corinth, alright? Because, like, if this was a real explosive weapon, it'd probably have such a low magazine capacity. But I'm still qualifying this as a assault rifle, so just note that. The Athoda is a really unique weapon. This is one of the ones I almost forgot to mention. Its secondary is what I'm talking about for this. It unleashes the full magazine within a couple, like within 2 seconds or one, causing way more damage than what it should. To be honest, this weapon is really broken against infested and any type of enemy, to be honest. I would use this, but only problem though is that its ammo is very, very consuming with the second ability and even the first. So that's why my build looks very, very bad right at the moment. So if you notice anything weird with this, just know that's what I'm like, you know. Also, I need to take Gunslinger off of that, but you know, I was messing around with Gauss the other day with the Athoda. So, Gauss, however you want to pronounce it. Yes. But, that should be all for today's video. I didn't really have anything planned to, like, stream or anything. But, oh no, that's not all. That's not all. I for real almost forgot to actually include this. This sword, when swinging it while aim gliding, it sends out a giant wave, kind of like Excalibur's Exalted Blade. It basically freezes enemies like in Nightwave. Let me just check. Alright. Anyways, in Nightwave, you know, Nihil glasses his targets all around everything, and it's so annoying sometimes. But point is, that's what you can do with that blade, except instead of them being capable of moving, they're frozen in place. And once you ground slam, I think they still shatter. I'm not sure if they took that out and just made it a damage dealing thing. But as far as I'm concerned, it's still like them completely dying on a one-hit kill if you have the right setup. But yes, this thing is still here. I do not plan on moving either of these because it took forever just to get this. I swear to you, that last investigation took me hours. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. That's truly all I have. Oh, 1, 2, 3. I could have sworn I had 4. 1, 2, 3. I guess I don't. Huh. Let me just check real quick. I mean, you guys can go ahead and click off the video. I'm not doing anything important, so like, just forgive me. I can't edit videos currently. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, I forgot I had this. And if you're wondering why I literally consumed Octavia, I'm just gonna let you guys know. Her abilities are horrible in my mind. Don't get me wrong, she's got really, really good abilities, like extremely good, but I just can't get over the simple fact of how energy consuming she is. She's worse than Grendel having 20 enemies in his Lust ability. It's very bad. Like, really, really bad. Like, it's worse than Equinox without having any efficiency on her. This is my... Which build is this? Okay, so this is my normal build. Yeah, see, I'm running this, but I'm slapping on a buttload of duration build at the same time, so that way it doesn't really mess it up, and if anything, it helps it out just a little, so that way, in the end, it'll still work out really, really well. And, point is, the Equinox is slightly a bit more of a team buffing character instead. So that's the only reason why I got such a strong efficiency build with her. And I know I don't need it as much, but she runs out of energy way too quickly if you're swapping between the two. But yeah, that's basically all for today's video. And I will catch you guys in the next video sometime later. And peace.